Hello and welcome to this tutorial. Today I will be going over the Vlookup function on Excel 2010. So Vlookup stands for vertical lookup, which means it is used to look for data found in a vertical orientation. So in this example, suppose we export this set of sales data onto an Excel workbook. It contains an employee ID, last name, first name, and monthly sales. Now suppose our company operates in 4 territories: LA, New York, Chicago, and Miami, and that every employee corresponds to one of those 4 locations. And so in addition to the data we already have here, we want to add the location of each respective employee. And we will be using the Vlookup function to do just that. In this second tab, we have a list of employee IDs. And we can see that based on employee ID, we can determine what location every employee corresponds to. And in addition to that, we also have their email address. Okay, so I will add the location column right next to monthly sales. And I will hit equals Vlookup. And so the first thing I will do here is explain all the arguments contained by the Vlookup function. The first argument is lookup value, which is the value that you want to search for. Next, we have table array, which is the array of data that is to be searched for the lookup value. The Vlookup function searches in the leftmost column of the table array, so it is very important for your lookup value to be in the leftmost column. Next, we have column index number, which is the column number of the supply table array that you want to return a value from. And lastly, we have range lookup, which boils down to true for approximate match and false for exact match. And you'll see exactly what is meant by that by the time we're finished with this tutorial. Okay, so let's go ahead and fill out this formula. The lookup value will be the ID number. The table array is the table with the location. Be sure to omit the headers. And let's go ahead and hit the F4 key to lock this table array for when we copy this formula down to populate every employee's location. The column index number is a 2, since location is in the second column of our table array. And since we're dealing with ID numbers that are unique for every employee, we will enter a 0 for false, since we want an exact match. And we close the formula, hit enter, and we have successfully returned the location of this employee. Now let's double click the fill handle, and there you go. We have successfully returned the location of every employee using the Vlookup function. Next, suppose we also want to add the employee's email address, so let's add that right next to location. Now, I want to be able to copy this formula over, and so if I copy it over, you'll see that we get an error. So let's delete that, and let's have a closer look at our formula so that we understand what changes we need to make so that it works. So we will still use the employee ID as the lookup value. But remember that when we copy the formula to the right, we need to make sure that the cell reference is preserved. The way we do that is by adding a $sign in front of the column letter, which locks the column in place, but not the row, meaning the formula will still work when we use the fill handle to populate the rest of the table. Now the table array is the same, so no changes there. However, the column index number will now be a 3, since email address is in the 3rd column of our table array. But I don't want to change the value of this cell, so first I will hit enter, copy the formula first, and now I will edit this 2 to a 3. And now you can see that our formula is correct. Now let's double click the fill handle, and there you go. We are now done with this section. Okay, and so the last thing I want to show you is how to use approximate match. So suppose we want to add another column for commission percentage based on employee sales for the month. On the right here, we have a table which indicates what commission percentage is to be paid out based on sales. Keep in mind that for approximate match, the leftmost column of the table array must be in ascending order, or else the formula will not work. Okay, so the formula is going to be equals Vlookup. And now we're looking for monthly sales, so that is our lookup value. Our table array is the sales commission table. And let's go ahead and hit the F4 key to lock it into place. Our column index number will be a 2, since we are looking to return the commission percentage that is to be paid out. And lastly, we will enter a 1 for true or approximate match. We close the formula, hit enter, and we now have the commission percentage that is to be paid out to this employee. And now we double click the fill handle to populate the rest of the table. And there you go. Another thing to keep in mind for approximate match is that the smallest number in the table array must be smaller than any number in the lookup value, or else you will get an error. However, there is no such limitations on the highest number, as you can enter a number in the lookup value higher than the highest number in the table array, and you will still get a value returned to you. So that is it for this tutorial. I hope these examples were clear and gave you a better understanding of the Vlookup function. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Thank you for watching.